Assalamu alaikum. We are still taking some verses that I've done before, but I just love them so much. I'm going to repeat them for you. This is Al Imran. I'm going to be reviewing constantly Al Imran and Surah Al-Baqarah. So I recall I was asked to do a radio show once, long ago, probably 30 years ago. And a friend of mine in Boston, she had a radio show, and she said, just choose anything you want to say. And I chose these few verses from Al Imran. They're just so perfect at any occasion, but this was for Boston audience. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Now I want to read from the translation on this because I don't want to make any sort of a controversy and make a mistake, because the memories that I have from this, and it's going to be the next group of ayat about the science that I'm supposed to be learning that I just can't. So I'm going to ask your help for this. And you'll see when I finish this part, the Aqidah part, I'm going to go on about the science part. And that's when I'm really going to need your help. And I'm going to even write some words for you in the title so that you will help me. I need your help about these things. So we'll start here. 25. It's very late, but I want to make up to you because I missed 5 lessons, so I want to do at least 4 for you now. See, once again, now I have a problem with the translation because I don't like this translation. So I'll tell you what I do like. Am I difficult? I may be a little bit in some things, but I'll explain why. This translation says, say, O Allah, owner of sovereignty, you give sovereignty to whom you will, and you take sovereignty away from whom you will. You honor whom you will, and you humble whom you will. In your hand is all good. Indeed, you are over all things competent. I don't like the word sovereignty for Malik al-Mulk because sovereignty means basically control, authority. But when Allah says He's Malik al-Mulk, Malik means the owner of everything, of mulk, of everything that can be possibly possessed. So the true meaning of Malik al-Mulk, it's not a king because they always say Malik means king. No. Malik al-Mulk means that Allah can do whatever He wants with anything because He owns everything. You cause the night to enter the day, and you cause the day to enter the night. This word walaja, that's what I'm going to ask for your help with. And you bring the living out of the dead, and you bring the dead out of the living. And you give provision to whom you will without account. Now, I'm going to put 2 more words, not just this walaja in Arabic, tuliju layla fi nahar, because Allah uses the references of night and day, the change of night into day and day into night. He uses 3 verbs. Not here, but I'm just saying in the Quran. And I'm going to write those 3 verbs because I know basically what they mean in my simple English way. But I would like some help. I want some scientifically minded people to assist me, because my sheikh said you must learn science, and he stressed it. And I said, I don't like it, I don't want to. And he said, then learn it, you have to. Well, I learned the meanings of the words. Yulij, the other one in, other places in the Quran, yaghsha, ghasha, and qawwira, yuqawwir al-layla wa nahar. So with my understanding, without any scientific background, yulij, qawwar, and ghasha. Yulij is like a drill going round and round and round. That's the one that's used here. The other one is ghasha, covering over. It's not used here, but I'm saying it's used in the Quran. The other words for night and day. And then the last one is yukawir, in a circular, a kora. A ball is called a kora. So it circles. That's all I can do. I'm sorry I can't do more than that, because I can't say no, Sheikh. Allah yarhamak, you were the best, Sheikh Fawzi Saeed. May Allah give you the highest spot in heaven as a martyr. He had kidney failure. He had liver failure. He's a martyr. However, I need help. So when I go back to Egypt, inshallah soon, I am going to be a little bit more persuasive and the word I'm looking for, it's almost midnight. I'm going to press on them to assist me more in scientific miracles in the Quran, because the person, Najjar, the professor, he just passed. I got a notification from Egypt. Ahmed Najjar was his name, and he did the scientific miracles in the Quran. And that's wonderful, and I'm happy for him. But it's not my specialty. May Allah reward him. We say in Arabic, al-baqa lillah, Allah yarhamu, Allah have mercy on him. But I prefer other aspects of the religion that I could, like this, for instance. This is what I like. Let not believers take disbelievers as allies rather than believers. And whoever of you does that has nothing with Allah, except when taking precautions against them in prudence. Now, this has to do, I think, with some sort of war treaties. And Allah warns you of himself, and to Allah is the final destination. So I'm thinking now, I have to read that in Arabic because I stopped at the half of the page. So let's go back. يولج الليل في نهاري وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب. لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله في شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقات ويحذركم الله نفسه وإلى الله المصير. This is a very important ayah for what we're going through right now. This whole, I don't even want to say his name, but the person that the other person is allied with right now. And it's too late for me to even discuss those names. Allah says, وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَلَيْسَ مِنَ اللَّهِ فِي شَيْءٍ. So if you're going to take these people as your helpers, you have nothing to do with Allah. إِلَّا أَن تَتَّقُوا مِنْهُمْ تُقَاتًا, unless it's some precaution that is extremely necessary. وَيُحَذِّرَكُمْ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ. Allah is warning you himself. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ الْمَصِيرُ. قُلْ إِن تُخْفُوا مَا فِي صُدُورِكُمْ أَوْ تُبْدُوهُ يَعْلَمُهُ اللَّهُ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. So the translation of that last part. I'm going to read it again because I already read it, but I want you to have depth in this because we're living through this right now. Let not believers take disbelievers as allies rather than believers. And whoever does that has nothing with Allah, except when taking precautions against them in prudence. So now you see down here the footnote says, when fearing harm from an enemy, the believers may pretend as long as his heart and intention are not affected. So you see these footnotes are helpful. But what does it really mean? Because after it says that, the last part of that verse says, and Allah warns you of himself, and to Allah is the final destination. And whether you conceal what's in your breasts or reveal, Allah knows it. And he knows that which is in the heavens and that which is on the earth. And Allah is over all things competent. Now, I don't want to go into this war. I don't even like to say the word. You know, the word for war, and this is something else which is needing depth, harb. And the word for fighting and killing for Muslims is, fighting is qital and killing is qatl. And these words are used differently in the Quran. Harb is used in a very negative way. يُحَارِبُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولِهِ. So that only disbelievers do harb. And you know what's funny too? Strange. That there was a person in the Sirah, and his name was Harb. And there's even a Qabila in the Arabs that used this name, Harb. And Prophet Muhammad would always change names that had bad meanings. It's almost midnight. I should end this on a lighter note. I met a new woman at one masjid a while back, and she was from Guyana. And she didn't like me straight up because they were on the board. You know, they ran the masjid. The board of people who don't know Arabic were running the masjid. And so the minute she saw me, she didn't like me, and I could feel it. You get vibes from people. And she told me her name was Bibi. And I said to her, you don't want the name Bibi? I said, that's not a good name. And she was taken aback. And you could tell she didn't like it. And I said, Prophet Muhammad would change names that had bad meanings. You know what I'm meaning and saying. The woman was my age. Please don't tell people your name is Bibi now, because was I wrong? You know, this thing about what is politically correct and socially acceptable differs in time and place, especially with traditions and how people react to what you may say are called constructive criticism. We Americans honestly don't care. If somebody will criticize you, as long as it has a point, a message, and it's delivered with a sincere wish for your betterment, we were raised up to accept that. But when you're dealing with people from other cultures and other countries, it's a whole, as we say in English, it's another ball game. You know, we have all these sport euphemisms because Allah does say in the Quran that this world is nothing but sport and play and empty talk. Could it be more concise than that? Isn't Allah so fair when He tells us what to do and what not to do? Now, one of the things, I have to end with that right now while I have 4 minutes. What He tells us not to do many times is to call on two ilahs. And He says that He is ilahun wahid, one. And He uses the word call. La tad'u, dua, da'a. La tad'u ilahayni ithnain. Innahu ilahun wahid. So, when people say God and they're Muslims, I can, let it go from non-Muslims. But when literally so-called imams use the word God, I get very angry. I get so angry. How can you say that word? Do you know the word God, the Orthodox of those people, the J word? They won't even write out the word G-O-D. They put G-D. Look it up if you don't believe me. You're probably saying, why is this woman coming up with all these weird facts? It's because I think it's important for you. You have to know what's going on. And that's why I'm here, to clarify the words of Allah in the proper way from Arabic into English, but to also give you a heads up on what's going on out there. You don't want to live in a bubble. You don't want to live in a vacuum. You have children to raise. You have grandchildren on the way. You want to be able to help them and relate to them and explain to them as an elder should, like a good elder. You know what I believe, though? People are complaining that the elders are being ignored. Oh, they never call me. They ignore. Yeah, maybe because you weren't helping them in a way of giving them some insight and some depth into their sad, shall I use the word? Their sad little cells called their cell phone. In Egypt, they call it the cell phone. What do we call it? What's the word we use for this monster? I have 3 monsters that I use all 3 of them. Now it's too late. It's midnight. I can't even think of the other word. The cell phone is what they call it in Egypt because it is like a cell. Or is that what we call it here? The proper word is hatif. The Shia call it a hatif, even though it's not the old-fashioned one that you used to pick up the receiver and dial. I think life was better without all of this. Because you had your circle of friends and family that you knew well and you trusted, and they loved you. And then you had this incomparable wealth with pages that you could actually turn and touch. It's a different vibe. Try it. Just try it for one day. Try reading the Quran. But see, that's if you know Arabic. The English translation's not going to be really as powerful, but how about let's agree to spend one day without our phones? Would you dare? Do you think you could? Are you able? I'm probably not. I wish I could be. At that, I'm going to hang up now. Oh, close now. Hang up. See, we had a receiver and we had to. Those were the days, my friend. But then again, be thankful we're living, we're breathing, we're healthy, and we love each other. We have our good relationship here. We can just. There was a song. I always remember the old time songs. Make the world go away. Get it off of my shoulder. That was the song when I was in high school. And what was the next verse? Say the things you wish to say. Make the world go away. Well, we can't do that. That's not Islamic. That was just one of those falsities that we were listening to back in the day. Music is a drug. Can you imagine asking your girlfriend, make the world go away, take it off my shoulders, say the things you want to say, make the world go away, and compare that to our prayers in Islam, where we turn our faces to Allah and we ask Him alone for help. And we're not going to ask Him to make the world go away because He made the world. It's here. We're supposed to appreciate the things that Allah does. We're supposed to ask Him for patience and perseverance. That's Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.